Today was the start of WWDC 2024, and boy was this event packed. It felt like they were doing an absolute speed run to get through all of the different OS updates just to build up to that Apple Intelligence stuff. There is so much to cover and so many features, and there's going to be a lot of channels uploading sort of the same sort of video. So instead of covering everything around iPad, iOS, macOS, all that stuff, I'm going to stay hyper-focused to what we love best around here, and that is the features involving filmmaking, photography, creating visuals. And it just so happens we have an incredible pairing between Apple and Blackmagic. Let's dive into it. So during the Vision OS update section, which ultimately was, I have some thoughts on it. Around the same time this video goes up, I'm gonna have a full video breaking down Vision OS 2 and all my thoughts and some of the features they didn't talk about over on my Vision Pro Experience channel, so you can check that out in the link in the description after this video. But anyway, during that section, they kind of speed ran through a huge announcement. And that is, they were talking about their immersive experience videos, which are these 8K, like 180 immersive sort of video productions. And if you haven't been able to demo a Vision Pro yet, they are the absolute highest quality immersive video you have ever experienced in your life. The problem is we don't have a ton of content. Once you kind of run through all the demo content, which you can do in your first couple of hours of owning a Vision Pro, it's basically it. You're not seeing any sort of content from your favorite creators, the majority of filmmakers. It's pretty much just what Apple has gone out with. They've acquired some 3D immersive companies. They partner with some bigger production companies that you've probably never heard of. There was a lot of like secrecy and unmarked camera boxes around these sets that you could peek in the behind the scenes. But now we have our first glimpse into their vision of the future for allowing anyone to create immersive content. Now, before we get to the crazy big Blackmagic announcement, the first step that is going to be way more budget friendly to the everyday person is they've partnered with Canon to come out with a specific STM lens that is going to be specifically designed to create spatial video. And it's literally going to be in a camera package about this size. This is my old EOS R with the 50mm STM lens. And this is the same sort of camera package and similar pricing because the lens is going to be designed, I don't know if it's like only to work with the Canon R7. They haven't released pricing on the lens, but considering it's in this kind of family of lenses, I don't think it's going to be crazy expensive. I'm guessing, you know, under $1,000. So for, let's say, around $2,000, you can have a much better spatial video capturing workflow than capturing spatial video on the Vision Pro or on your iPhone. Both of those give very cool experiences, but the quality is definitely nowhere near what you get when you watch a Apple produced immersive video. So I think it's awesome that there's going to be a entry-level camera combo out there to create this new type of video content. But then again, as they kept steamrolling through all these new features, like, oh, we partnered with Blackmagic and they're working on creating a URSA Cine immersive camera. They quickly flashed this crazy looking contraption. And I'm like, whoa, what's that? And then before I could even process that, they're talking about how there's going to be an update to DaVinci Resolve Studio to have a simplistic workflow to edit this. That entire part of the announcement was over in like 20 seconds. And I'm sure anyone watching this, we were all like, wait, hold on, like more of that. Give me an hour of that. Well, unfortunately, it's still currently in early development because a little while after the event finished, Blackmagic tweeted out just kind of announcing, yes, like, hey, we're working on this thing. There's not much about it. It's going to be available later this year. And it's some basic specs. Basically, it's two of, I believe they're 12K sensors in each eye. So one 12K sensor in each eye at 90 FPS with 16 stops of dynamic range. That is an absolute insane camera spec sheet. Now, over on their Facebook page, they went into a little bit more detail. I'll throw it up on the screen. Feel free to pause the video if you want to read it in its entirety. But they just go in depth a little bit more about what they're working on developing, and we get a better glimpse into the vision for the workflow that they are going for. And this is the part that I think is key for this type of content to becoming more mainstream. Because right now there are quite a few options to create stereoscopic and kind of 3D immersive content. Canon has had a dual lens for a number of years. There's countless other companies out there that make, you know, software and hardware, and you can rig two cameras together. That's not necessarily anything new, but to then take that footage and create a video out of it is a very different workflow than just filming on a regular camera or phone, popping in an SD card to a computer, cut the footage up, export it, view it, and you're done. It has gotten better over the years, but even as someone who loves techie nerdy stuff and figuring things out, I hate working with stitching software and stereoscopic timelines, and it can just turn into a nightmare real fast. And so they've said that they are working on a workflow where, one, the URSA Cine immersive camera is going to record a special type of B-RAW. Already love that as a codec, but it's going to be B-RAW immersive or something. And it's going to combine both lenses and both censored images into one specific file, which then the same company who makes the hardware and software of the camera and the codec is going to input that into DaVinci Resolve, and it's going to be able to easily read it so you can edit it in a simplistic way. I'm guessing it's going to be a very similar editing style to cutting any other sort of footage, and that's going to make it a lot easier for all of us to not have to kind of do this whole crazy type of workflow to make a different type of video. And if that's the case, if that's what we see by the end of this year, where we have these cameras come out and we have this new workflow where it's still relatively simplistic, because again, after viewing the stuff on the Vision Pro, I want more. I want so much more. I want to see things from the filmmakers I love, the creators I love, and I personally want to create way more immersive content, because when I view back the kind of muddy, just kind of pixelated, just very meh spatial video that this captures of like my kids playing or dogs or whatever, it like makes me tear up from clips that I just shot a couple months ago. I can only imagine if I had a camera like the URSA Cine or even the Canon setup 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now, being able to have a more immersive look back. And this really feels like the pivotal shift we need to kind of enter that next generation of filmmaking, content creation, and just content viewing. We've been viewing 2D visuals for so many years now, and we've gotten 3D gimmicks before, but this really has the potential to be something new. At least that's how I feel about it. That seems like the steps that Apple and Blackmagic are taking, but I would love to know what you guys think about all this. What do you think about the event as a whole, and more specifically about this new Blackmagic camera? Leave a comment guessing what you think the camera is going to cost down below. Like I said before, if you want to see my take on Vision OS 2 and all my thoughts on that, definitely check out my second channel, Vision Pro Experience. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.